crazy. We're right on the scene.
This is fucked.
I wonder if we should even be right here.
We're not gonna... This is so fucked.
He's in that car.
He's in that car. They're dragging him out. Look, they're dragging somebody. Oh my god. That's a
real cop, huh? He just killed a real cop right in front of us.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh my fuck. This is fucking crazy.
Is he in there?
I'm like shaking. We should move. Like, what if he's alive and he like shoots Trev?
They got the killer right here. They got him on lockdown. They're going for him right now. They got the killer right here. Oh, they got him, bud. They shot him. I heard the 4 shots. I heard the 4 shots, bud. There he is. They got him.
Yeah, we're gonna get sniped. They got the road blocked off. That's probably him in that truck.
What's going on here, man?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah. He's telling us to back up, Justin. Back up. He's telling us not to come.
Okay, go this way. Get off the road.
Wow, look at this. This is fucking crazy. They got the whole SWAT, the whole military here.
Okay, we can get the wall right down here. I know.
Holy fucking guns everywhere.
No, he's in the parking lot where the trucks are.
Oh my god.
No, I know, bro. I gotta turn around.
Wow.
Look at them.
This is fucking crazy. He was coming here, bud. This was no joke.
Let's go. They're letting the dogs out. Oh, bro, I gotta watch this shit, man. Well, I don't want to be here with all this money on me. No, I have no right to claim it.
You give it to me.
No, just get out of here before we get shot.
More shots. You can hear them.
Yeah, I don't want to get shot.
The Nova Scotia shooter case has hallmarks of an undercover operation. Police sources say the killer's withdrawal of $475,000 was highly irregular, and how an RCMP agent would get money. By Paul Palango, Stephen Matt, Shannon Gormley. June 19, 2020. The withdrawal of $475,000 in cash by the man who killed 22 Nova Scotians in April matches the method the RCMP uses to send money to confidential informants and agents, sources say. Gabriel Wertman, who is responsible for the largest mass killing in Canadian history, withdrew the money from a Brinks depot in Dartmouth, NS, on March 30, stashing a carryall filled with $100 bills in the trunk of his car. According to a source close to the police investigation, the money came from Sibk Intria, a subsidiary of the chartered bank that handles currency transactions. Sources in both banking and the RCMP say the transaction is consistent with how the RCMP funnels money to its confidential informants and agents, and is not an option available to private banking customers. The RCMP has repeatedly said that it had no special relationship with Wertman. Court documents show Wertman owned a New Brunswick-registered company called Berkshire Broman, the legal owner of 2 of his vehicles, including one of his police replica cars. Whatever the purpose of that company, there is no public evidence that it would have been able to move large quantities of cash. Wertman also ran his own denturist business, and there is no reason to believe it also would require him to handle large amounts of cash. If Wertman was an RCMP informant or agent, it could explain why the force appeared not to take action on complaints about his illegal guns and his assault on his common-law wife. Read more. The Nova Scotia killer had ties to criminals and withdrew a huge sum of cash before the shooting. A Mountie familiar with the techniques used by the force in undercover operations, but not with the details of the investigation into the shooting, says Wertman could not have collected his own money from Brinks as a private citizen. There's no way a civilian can just make an arrangement like that, he said in an interview. He added that Wertman's transaction is consistent with the Mountie's experience in how the RCMP pays its assets. I've worked a number of sick cases over the years, and that's how things go. All the payments are made in cash. To me, that transaction alone proves he has a secret relationship with the force. A second Mountie, who does not know the first one but who has also been involved in operations, also believes that Wortman's ability to withdraw a large sum of money from Brinks is an indication that Wortman had a link with the police. That's tradecraft, the Mountie said, explaining that by going through SIPC Intria, the RCMP could avoid typical banking scrutiny, as there are no holds placed on the money. That's what we do when we need flash money for a buy. We don't keep stashes of money around the office. When we suddenly need a large sum of money to make a buy or something, that's the route we take. I think, with the Brinks transaction, you've proved with that single fact that he had a relationship with the police. He was either a SOR or an agent. A Canadian retail banking expert speaking on condition that they not be identified says it is unlikely that Wortman was cashing out his own savings when he collected the money from Brinks after the money was transferred from SIPC Intria. When you come into my branch and you want a ton of cash, then I say, you gotta give us a couple of days. We put in our Brinks order, I order the money through Brinks, then when the money arrives, you come back into the branch, I bring you into a back room and I count the money out for you, the banking expert said. Sending someone to Brinks to get the money? I've never heard of that before. The reason is, if I'm the banker, and you've deposited your savings in my bank branch, I'm responsible for making sure the money goes to the right person. If you want this money, I'm going to verify your identity and document that. I can't do that if I'm transferring the money to Brinks. In response to detailed questions from Maclean's about the transaction, a SIPC spokesperson replied via email, "Our hearts and thoughts are with the families and the entire community as they deal with this senseless tragedy and loss. Unfortunately, we are not able to comment on specific client matters." Brinks did not reply to questions about the transaction. The banking expert speculates that the RCMP could keep transactions relatively quiet by going through Brinks instead of a bank to transfer money to a confidential informant or an agent. You can imagine that if someone comes in with large sums of cash, that stuff is not kept quiet. You don't want that. Maybe what the RCMP was doing is they thought they could keep things quieter simply by transferring funds via Brinks. At a press briefing on June 4, Nova Scotia RCMP Superintendent Darren Campbell seemed to rule out the possibility that Wortman was a confidential informant for the force. The gunman was never associated to the RCMP as a volunteer or auxiliary police officer, nor did the RCMP ever have any special relationship with the gunman of any kind. The RCMP Operations Manual, a copy of which was obtained by Maclean's, authorizes the force to mislead all but the courts in order to conceal the identity of confidential informants and agent sources. The identity of a source must be protected at all times except when the administration of justice requires otherwise, that is, a member cannot mislead a court in any proceeding in order to protect a source. A spokeswoman for the Nova Scotia RCMP declined further comment after Maclean's reported on the financial transaction. "This is still an active, ongoing investigation," said Corporal Jennifer Clark in an email on Friday. "All investigative avenues and possibilities continue to be explored, analyzed, and processed with due diligence. This is to ensure that the integrity of the investigation is not compromised. We cannot release anything more related to your questions." Maclean's reported earlier this week that sources say Wortman had social relationships with Hells Angels, and with a neighbor, Peter Allen Griffin, who recently finished serving part of a 7-year sentence for drug and firearm offenses linked to La Familia, a Mexican cartel. Sources say Griffin printed the decals that Wortman used on the replica RCMP cruiser he used in his rampage. Sources say that RCMP in New Brunswick, not Nova Scotia, recently took over operational control of investigations into outlaw bikers in the Maritimes, which means that Nova Scotia Mounties may not have been aware of any connection to Wortman. The RCMP Operations Manual identifies 2 types of sources: informant sources and agent sources. A law enforcement source said the force uses Brinks to make large payments to agent sources, not informant sources. Informants are never paid more than a couple hundred at a time, said a person briefed on RCMP operations. Anything over $10,000 is agent money. Agents typically have greater responsibilities than informants. Only officers who have received specialized training are allowed to handle agents. An agent source is a person tasked by investigators to assist in the development of target operations, says the manual. Direct involvement and association with a target may result in her becoming a material and compellable witness, a source used to introduce undercover operations, act as a courier for controlled delivers or act in place of an RCMP undercover operator by obtaining evidence. If the money was a transfer from the RCMP to an agent, there would be a paper trail through FINTRAC, the Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Center of Canada, which tracks large cash transactions and suspicious transactions. Brinks does the FINTRAC paperwork saying it's coming from us, it's from a chartered bank, and the RCMP liaison at FINTRAC signs off, handles the paperwork, said a source briefed on the system. The RCMP guys clear it or they refer it for further investigation. They manually clear those FINTRAC reports coming from Brinks related to paid agents. The RCMP Operations Manual requires officers handling confidential informants and agents to send reports to the Director of the Covert Operations Branch at National Headquarters. Headquarters Media Relations Office said in an email Friday that Campbell's statement that the force never had a special relationship with Wortman still stands. The Attorney General of Nova Scotia, former RCMP Staff Sergeant Mark Furey, has said the province is in talks with Ottawa about a joint federal-provincial inquiry or a view of Wortman's murderous rampage. Furey's office did not reply before deadline to a question about whether the terms of the inquiry would allow inquiry counsel to pierce the powerful legal privilege that attaches to confidential informants. Family members of the victims have complained that the process is dragging out. As calls for an inquiry mount, so does speculation about what happened, among both the general public and the RCMP. One former Mountie says he doesn't understand why Wortman would turn against the Mounties if they were paying him. What seems inconsistent to me is why are you going to bite the hand that feeds you? If he's getting money, and that's a lot of money for an agent, or that part doesn't make sense to me. The former investigator pointed out that if Wortman was acting for the RCMP, and receiving that amount of money, he would eventually be expected to testify. If he was an agent, he should show up on a witness docket. But another Mountie says, this guy always wanted to be a Mountie. He was acting like a Mountie. He was doing Mountie things. It's clear to me that something went wrong.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it. You see that? It says United States Marshal.
Why? Please don't kill me, please. Please.
Take a good look at him, Ike, because that's how you're gonna end up. The Cowboys are finished, you understand me? I see a red sash, I killed a man wearing it. So run, you cur. Run! Tell all the other curs the law's coming! You tell them I'm coming! And hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Look, we need to talk. They loved what you did, but now that they heard it with the guitars and the bass, they want to change it to trombones and tambourine.